Hello everyone, and welcome to Straight Talk with Sophia One. This is episode number 23, and today is June the 20th, 2024. This conversation happened earlier in May of this year, about May 8th, and the question that was asked over a year ago. The question revolved around energy levels and tiredness, and the question basically was, why is everyone so tired? So here's the answer. It's just me reading the answer, so there'll be no back and forth today, and it's about 5 pages long, so let's get started. We will have a discussion about physical issues. These are happening for everyone. They are often misunderstood. Initially, let us speak of exhaustion. This is the questioner's primary inquiry, and he is not alone. Many of you have gotten used to fluctuations in your stamina and energy levels. There seems to be no rhyme or reason to them. We will begin with what is happening to the human in real time. The earth human is undergoing a metamorphosis. This is a change to every component that is considered physical. The change alters the body, the mind, the emotions, and the spirit. Everything will be unrecognizable by the time you are at the completion of this journey. All of this requires energy. This is energy that you are not used to expending, and it is being spent behind the scenes. In other words, you aren't conscious of it as it occurs. Yet be assured it is occurring. You can think of it like a battery in a flashlight. You are happily depending on the beam of light to lead the way when in the dark. Then you notice the light beam dim. This is your signal to replace the battery before you are stranded in the dark. Your body is attempting to signal you. It does so with the feeling of tired. If you ignore the signal, it will not go away. It will continue at an increased level. No amount of caffeine or energy drink will change this. What is needed is rest. This is, quote, tired on every level. As we mentioned earlier, the metamorphosis is happening to your body, your mind, your emotions, and your spirit. Do not expect to proceed through this time unchanged. You will not magically morph all at once and at the final moment of your journey. This is a process. It occurs at a gradual level, and it is different for each one of you. We will discuss what is happening. This is happening at an accelerated rate now, and for the next few years. In a sense, you've always been evolving. That is the purpose of physical incarnations. Yet, this time now, the time that has been called the Enlightenment, accelerates your evolution. It does so while you are occupying a physical body. It does so while you are navigating system-changing events. This is not a small feat. You are not called masters for nothing. Let us describe what is occurring behind the scenes. Physical changes are necessary. You are building a body that is able to hold more light. You are building a body that is less dense than it has been. This body will need greater flexibility for transitioning frequency levels. You could say that it is lighter, yet that does not necessarily indicate less mass. It is the makeup of the mass that is altered. It becomes less compact. There are more spaces, and this allows greater flow. Your tastes for food and activity are changing. Your sleep schedule seems to shift on a daily basis. All of this has to do with where you are physically. These changes to your physical makeup are not so obvious that a medical professional would notice them. They are not immediately drastic. It will require a length of time to complete itself. At the conclusion, you will look the same in a general sense. That is, people who know you will recognize you, yet there will be specific changes that you'll notice. Some of you will change in height. Some of you will change in hair color. All of you will look, quote, brighter and more vibrant. You will command attention because of your light. People will feel it, even if they cannot point specifically to it. A, quote, light body doesn't mean transparent here. Think of it this way. The process will yield for you a physical body that is perfectly in tune with the light. It will not slow it down with density. You'll have a cooperative arrangement. With it, your physical self will complete the intentions of the light self. Synchronicity. In truth, there is no difference between the two. Yet, you are operating in a physical reality. This was your wish, and it is why you are here. We will now speak to mental changes. There are many. The thoughts you held before this process began in earnest will not be your thoughts at the end of this process. Your mind is expanding. What that expansion means is that there is more, quote, room in which to hold conflicting thoughts. One thought doesn't need to be dismissed in order for the second conflicting thought to rest there also. You will not be confused by this or unable to think. You have referenced this in your literature as, quote, the watcher. There will be a real sense in your coming days of having multiple components, both of them, or all of them, you. Once you get used to this, it will fascinate you. Memories of other yous will surface as you become conscious of your multi-dimensional reality. This will be an expansion for your mind. What happens is that it continues as long and as far as you allow. Reality is infinite, and here is where you'll get a glimpse of that while occupying a physical body. Let us turn our focus now to changes in emotion. This is, perhaps, the area most keenly felt and specifically noticed right now. Emotions are not things you can see or things that you measure. They are felt. Emotions emerge as responses. They could be responses to physical, mental, or even spiritual things. Emotions are neither good nor bad. When your mind makes a judgment about an emotion, quote, goodness or, quote, badness are introduced. Emotions arise from your physical self. As that self, that is you, evolves and is altered, an emotional response is initiated. This process of enlightenment is an expansion. Your emotions become fuller as you change. What this will feel like is a quicker response time and a more deeply experienced response. Unanticipated tears, wells of sorrow, deep appreciation, all-consuming peace, and an overload of awe are just a few examples. All of these occurring simultaneously to a sort of mellowing out. You may feel anger and frustration, yet these will inspire action rather than rage. This expansion of emotion is hard to quantify, for as all of these are felt more deeply, what they inspire is a sense of appreciation. You head into them full. You expect to be moved in some way and find yourself grateful for this human life that allows you to experience it all. In a sense, you both feel the emotions and observe yourself feeling them as the watcher. Again, thus begins multidimensionality. The rich nature of an earth human experience is most exquisitely touched through emotion. You don't want to miss a thing, and thus each feeling expands and explores itself in new ways. As your tools for creation are remembered and prepared for use, emotion begins to come under greater control for you. Emotion fuels creation. Do you feel the dual purpose here? Richer and more deeply experienced feelings yield, quote, more. This more will be whatever it is you intend it to be. It will become whatever it is you expect it to become. This is how a creator creates. You are practicing, preparing, and readying yourselves for fully conscious creation. Your emotional mastery is a key ingredient. Enlightenment allows for feeling everything. It is not a removed observance of your life. It is fully participatory. The final change we'll discuss is the spiritual one. Indeed, this is the primary focus for many Earth humans. It does not demand superior rank or more focus than the other components. An enlightened Earth human has achieved balance. Balance with their physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual parts. Spiritually, you are expanding. You will recognize this expansion when you acknowledge Source everywhere. The separation that erupts between Christian and atheist, Muslim and Jew, rich and poor, black and white will no longer be seen by you. Spiritual evolution follows the seeing of all potentials as equal. Equal to each other and equal to you. It allows for differences of opinion with acceptance rather than tolerance, for tolerance includes judgment. Your spiritual transformation abandons all judgment. Your spiritual expansion has room for every flavor. All of these changes are happening now, happening to you in real time. Energy is needed for this deep work. As energy is expended, you tire. Tiredness is the most benign outcome of an intense alteration of every part of you. When it is felt, send gratitude to yourself for its recognition, and know that this is the work you came for. It is the masters who are here now. These masters are you. Godspeed, my dear ones. Godspeed. That is all. So that's the end of the answer to the question. And I appreciate each and every one of you for participating in our journey. I send you lots of love and light, and I hope to see you on our Straight Talk blog. And feel free to post your questions there, and we'll be taking this up again next month. Love you all. Bye now.